Okay, hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith. This video is about settling the debate of what is the best martial art. And the answer is there is no best martial art. The answer is you should study all martial arts and take the best of all martial arts and make your own style if it makes you comfortable with your self-defense scenario. Um, Now, are there some martial arts that are better than others? Of course. You want a good striking martial art and a good stand-up martial art that combines striking and grappling as your base, and then you want to tie in judo and Gracie jiu-jitsu certainly. But there are things to learn in one style or another that you didn't learn about another. For example, in Tai Chi focuses a lot on breathing. And people are like, are you sure that slow motion fighting is good for real fighting? Well, the advantage that Tai Chi has is that, for example, your kicks in Tai Chi are actually very slow. And believe it or not, you need to be incredibly flexible and strong to do a slow motion kick. Because when you do a full speed kick in karate or taekwondo, the momentum carries your leg all the way up. In Tai Chi, if you want to kick high, you have to pull it all the way up gradually with your strength and your flexibility and your balance. So there are advantages to all kinds of training in Tai Chi. Tai Chi also ties into throws and joint locks of Ishinryu or Shorin-ryu karate, all right, and Japanese jiu-jitsu. So you want a good style like Ishinryu karate, an Okinawan karate style that combines striking and grappling of jiu-jitsu with karate, and then you want a throwing style, namely judo, all right, and then you want a ground grappling style, namely Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I've studied all of that, all right, but so if you started out in a different striking style than karate, so be it. Whether it was boxing or taekwondo or shotokan or whatever, um, or tang sudo, so be it. That's where you started. So add some grappling style to that striking style, namely Japanese jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo. Uh, uh, Once you're in like brown belt or black belt level in one style, you can study another style pretty easily because you learn to adapt and add those techniques to it. But like in the words of Chuck Norris on Walker Texas Ranger, there was a certain episode where Trevette, Chuck Norris's sidekick, asked Chuck Norris or Walker, which style of martial arts is the best, and Chuck Norris replied, "You should study them all." Um, Chuck Norris replied, "You should study all styles of martial arts." Because remember, Chuck Norris is a ninth degree black belt in Tang Sudo, which is a lot like karate, but he's also heavily studied in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu submissions and ground game. So he replied to Trevette, the Walker character replied to Trevette that you should study all styles. So I'm saying the same thing. You should study all styles. There is no one best martial art. Whatever the best technique is in that instant, you have to have that kind of reaction speed to do the correct technique in that instant. If it's a street self defense situation, certainly to be successful. That's why we drill these things and pressure test them in karate classes and other martial arts classes over and over until we do the correct thing instinctively. If you have to stop and think about it, gee, he's pulling a knife. What do I do? Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah, you're gonna get stabbed. All right. But if you've already pressure tested knife defense drills a couple hundred times, then when they pull the knife, you're like, okay, this is just a knife. Take it away, kick him, punch him in the throat. It's just another drill. All right. So yeah, a good solar plexus kick or groin kick it in tandem with your knife defense skill is going to make the disarm much more successful than if you just used your hands only to disarm the knife. So when they thrust or slash at you, certainly you block their arm with the backswing, and you take the knife away from them with a joint lock, and If in the midst of that you kick them in the groin or the solar plexus as a distracting strike, it's a lot easier to get the knife away from them. But you drill all of that over and over. And I don't mean just a non resisting target. I mean, the person acts like they really have a knife and you have a wooden knife or a rubber knife so you don't actually stab one another. And if you want to, you can put some chalk on it or you can put some black on it or whatever the case and prove that you're actually disarming it without getting stabbed. Even if you fail to successfully disarm your attacker with a real knife, all right, the knife defense teaching is not going to get you killed any faster than if you didn't have skills. So you may as well have skills and have some chance of defending yourself rather than have no knife defense skills and just roll over and die. That's what I tried to tell somebody on Quora the other day. Which would you rather? Would you rather have some real knife defense skills, or are you just going to roll over and die and let the bad guy beat you up and stab you? All right. So you when they draw but anyway, the best martial art is the one you need at the moment, not well, Brazilian jiu-jitsu is always better, or judo is always better, or karate is always better, or Japanese jiu-jitsu is always better. No, the best martial art is the technique that you need right now. All right. And that's why you really need to study all martial arts in order to have the best experience in defending yourself or the best experience in mixed martial arts competition. Study all styles or you don't have a complete skill set.